Hi, I'm Allison.
And I'm Nikki.
And you're watching Colorado Sports Connection.
Welcome back to Colorado Sports Connection. We're talking with Denver Post sports writer Mark Kiszla. Now, Mark, during your time here, you dealt with a lot of head coaches here for the Denver Broncos. Tell us about some of the interesting stories you've had with Josh McDaniels, Coach Shanahan, and Dan Reeves.
Dan Reeves, very much old school football coach. Tough and crusty on the outside, heart of gold on the inside. Softy, as soft as a roasted marshmallow on the inside. Mike Shanahan, brilliant X and O's guy, very tough competitor, and unless you're his friend or family, he'll rip your heart out. And that's part of the reason why I think he's been so successful as a football coach. Josh McDaniels, young, enthusiastic. He's been portrayed as arrogant. I do not see that at all. I think he's as genuine can be. I think he's got solid Midwest values. I also think that he's an excitable young guy, so he's kind of like a happy little dog that just runs over here and says, let's try this, and then he runs over here and says, let's try this. And he hasn't really figured out everything he wants to do as a football coach yet. He's learning on the job. That's sometimes tough for Bronco fans to watch, but I think whether it's in Denver or someplace else, he'll really succeed as a football coach somewhere.
Now, you're talking about the fans and he's being a happy little dog. Why is it that, he's like the whipping boy, though, as well?
Because number one, he's not Mike Shanahan, who's the legendary coach, probably the #1 coach of any sport of all time in Colorado. And he's following that legend. And so it's tough to live up to that legend. It's tough to be the person that follows the legend. And number two, he came in and he made a lot of changes. And I think for my 25 years in Colorado, when he traded Jay Cutler and Mike Shanahan went away, that was in the last generation, that was the moment in time when Bronco fans really had to ask themselves, what is this team? And what do I latch on to? And what am I loyal to? Am I really loyal to the blue and orange jerseys, or am I loyal to the name on the back of the jersey? And it was a tough choice Bronco fans had to make, because more and more, this is a star-driven society, and there wasn't really a star to wrap your arms around.
Talked about football. Let's move over to the basketball arena here. Recently, you wrote an article about Carmelo Anthony. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the marriage here between the Nuggets and Carmelo?
I think I was talking to Troy Tulowitzki about this recently, and I said, listen, baseball is your business, but you're here at a Nuggets game watching Melo. What do you think of Melo and his desire to explore his options as a fan? And he said, as a fan, I think he's one of the best players in basketball. As a fan, I wish he would stay in Denver his entire career. But sometimes business is business, and you have to do what's right for your business. Carmelo Anthony is making a business decision, and he's doing what's right for his family. And if you're a sports writer or a truck driver, the idea of doing right by your family is really easy to understand. When you're a multimillionaire, that people think that you should do right by the fans because they pay your salary. That's not how it works.
Now, do you feel that, because as a sports fan, I'll be looking at and I'm saying, yes, he wants to support his family, but I see it as you've got enough to support your family and can live anywhere you want. Why leave Denver since we've been so good to you?
It's a fair point. He'll make his money anywhere he wants, but it's also a 21st century thing. There is a two-career family. His wife's in the entertainment business. I personally can think of no better place to live than Denver, Colorado. If you're in the entertainment business, then you should live in Los Angeles or you should live in New York, and that's where she should live. That's where Lala Vasquez should live. And if he cares about her career as well as his own career, then he'll listen to her input, and he'll do what's right for him and what's best for her as well. And he should care more about what his wife thinks than what you think, or what I think, or what your cameramen think.
Well, Mark, they're telling me that we're going to have to wrap up. I can't believe how quickly the 30 minutes goes, and I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule in being a guest today. And one last thing, though. Your thoughts on the Broncos-Raiders game?
Broncos-Raiders game? Broncos better win or their season's over.
You heard it right there from the controversial Mark Kiszla, but yet very talented. Enjoy his column in the Denver Post every day. I'm Daryl Navarro. We thank you for watching this show, and we'll see you next week right here on Colorado Sports Connection.